Welcome to the college semi-final of the Nexus BizQuiz. We had an interesting format for the BizQuiz this time. We had a common preliminary round of our own quiz platform, Knowledge Vyasa, and we had nearly 70 contestants evenly split between the open and the college categories take the prelims. There were 35 challenging questions to attempt in 35 minutes. And from those, we chose the top 9 qualifiers each for the open category and the college category. 4 open category semi-finalists have already been identified after the open semi-final. Now we are in the college semi-final where we have 9 of the best college quizzers from across the country battling it out to be in 4 spots in the grand finale. The grand finale will have 4 college contestants and 4 open contestants, with prize money being separated out for both categories in one common quiz, right? So great chance to see some of the best people in the country match wits against each other. Now, let's do a quick round of introductions. In order of our contestants, we have randomly allotted contestants to positions basis their names. So, alphabetical order of first names. Contestant number 1 in today's college semi-final is Adarsh Kumar Mahapatra. Adarsh, please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Adarsh from AIIMS Bhubaneswar.
Adarsh from AIIMS Bhubaneswar, welcome. Contestant number 2 is Atharva Soman.
Hi, I'm Atharva Soman from College of Engineering, Pune.
Okay. College of Engineering, Pune, right? Okay, COEP. Atharva is number 2. Contestant number 3 is Jay Rana.
Yeah, I am Jay Rana from NMIMS Mumbai.
Okay, NMIMS Mumbai, very good. We have 3 different locations already represented: Bhubaneswar, Pune, and Mumbai. Number 4 is Parantap.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Parantap and I am Bangalore.
I am Bangalore. Very good. Parantap, welcome. Number 5 is Prajot.
Hello everyone. I am Prajot Patne from COEP.
From COEP. So our second COEP contestant is here, Prajot. Moving on to Shubham Jha.
Hi, I'm Shubham from School of Engineering, CUSAT, Kochi.
CUSAT Kochi. Welcome, Shubham. Moving on to our only lady contestant across the 2 open and college semi-finals. So a special round of applause and welcome to you, Sri Lakshmi.
Hi, I'm Sri Lakshmi from University of Hyderabad.
From University of Hyderabad, welcome. Our penultimate contestant for today is Stephen.
I am Stephen. I'm from Nuvals, Kochi.
Okay, welcome, Nuvals, Kochi. And in order, contestant number 9 is Zaman.
Hi, I'm Zaman. I'm from University of Hyderabad.
University of Hyderabad. Okay. So we have Bombay, Pune, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Kochi, all of it represented. Fantastic. Welcome to all of you. Look forward to a free, fair, and good contest. I'm going to start sharing my screen. All right. Hope you're all able to see the screen. So welcome once again to the college semi-final of the Nexus BizQuiz. The quiz is researched and brought to you by Nexus Consulting. For those of you who don't know us, we are a knowledge company based in Bangalore, and we conduct quizzes, do content research, and do lots of TV and OTT shows, as well as release original content. You may have seen some of our YouTube episodes, which would be particularly relevant to some of you who are looking to make career choices. It's called The Road Less Taken, and it's interviews with people who've made unconventional career choices and succeeded at them. We have people like Pulela Gopichand, Bharadwaj Rangan, and various others, Amish Tripathi in the latest episode, who've been featured. Please do go take a look. In the same YouTube channel, you will find the videos of these quizzes as well that will be uploaded once we finish conducting them. So my name is Venki, your quiz master. Let's see how this quiz works. So we have 3 rounds, 27 questions, no pounds in rounds 1 and 3. For round 2, we will tell you the rules when we come to it. Top 4 contestants qualify for the finals from this round, and top 4 already from the open round. Prizes for all finalists. So if you're in the final, you'll be assured of prizes. So remember, there's no special points for winning today. Prelim scores haven't been carried forward. Scores from the semis are not carrying forward to the finals. So you don't need to win. You need to play tactically. You only need to finish 4th. Whether you finish 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, you will be in tomorrow's final. right? And video to be on all the time and hands in front of camera at all times. We have two of my colleagues on the call, Venkat and Hatim, members of our content team who've put most of these wonderful questions together, right? So Venkat and Hatim will be watching, and Venkat and Hatim, please, if you feel that anybody needs to adjust their cameras, we need to see their hands, etc., please call it out. Yep. Right. So let's get cracking. This is how the quiz will work. 9 questions going clockwise, 9 questions special round, and 9 questions going anti-clockwise. Like I said, the clock and anti-clock rounds are purely on bounds, no pounds, no conservation of points, which means if somebody answers a partial answer, that will not be revealed till the entire answer is complete. And 5 points and 10 points will be awarded, or any splits will be awarded accordingly. Okay, question number 1 of the clockwise round of this quiz. 9 questions. We start with Adarsh. Adarsh, here's your question. The powers that be were confident, assuming that the popularity of Indian Chinese food meant that their product would succeed. When it was launched in 1982 in India, it was targeted at the working woman. The idea was to give the working woman a quick option at the end of a tiring day. However, it was not a success. Perplexed, the company did a study and was startled to find that the product was a huge hit among an entirely different audience. Which very famous brand is this? It's a very common, popular brand, much loved and much consumed even today. And who did they start targeting once they figured that their original target of the working women was not appropriate? So this is a direct to Adarsh. No negatives at all. So please feel free to make guesses. Most answers are answers that you know and you've heard of, right? So which brand is this? Introduced in India in 1982. It's been a very popular brand in India ever since. It was originally introduced so that working women would have a quick option at the end of a tiring day. But they finally found that the brand was actually becoming a big hit among an entirely different audience. And your other big clue is that they assumed that because of the popularity of Indian Chinese food, they assumed that their brand would succeed. So Adarsh, let's start with you. Make a guess.
I'll say this is Maggie and college students or children.
Maggie, and what's your answer for the second part?
College students or children.
No, you're giving me 2 answers. Give me 1 answer for the second part.
I'll go with children.
That is the right answer. That will get you your 10 points. This is Maggie noodles, right? Originally introduced so that in 2 minutes, a working woman could quickly whip up something to eat. And however, they found that it became a big hit among kids or among children. Of course, eternal favorite, I know, of all college people as well, who's not kind of made Maggie and eaten it in the hostel or in the night canteen or whatever it is. Well answered, Adarsh. That gets you your 10 points. And we go to Atharva for the next question. Atharva, a vintage ad from this company shows all the 3 ready with travel accessories, encouraging viewers to pick one for their travels. The accompanying text reads: X, taken on a train, elevate and entertain. Y, as you'd expect, suit the adult intellect. Z, on the other hand, for the growing mind are planned. Between 1962 and 1989, the educational series from the same brand was named under a record holder, which comes under the same kind of naming pattern. So name any 2 of X, Y, or Z. X is the most popular that you would have heard of. Y and Z are similarly named but different names. And another similar but different name is the last one, which was the educational series, right? I'll also tell you as an additional clue, X, Y, Z, and the last one all start with the same letter. Okay? X, Y, and Z are one word, and the last one is 2 words, and it's a record holder. So, Atharva, take it away. Repeating my clues, X, Y, Z, and the educational series all start with the same letter. X, Y, and Z are one word. And the last one, the educational series, is 2 words, and it refers to a record holder. Remember the fact that it's something that viewers could pick up for their travels. Look at the words there saying adult intellect and growing mind and so on. Look at the fact that there was an educational series.
Sorry, I lost you in the end. Can you repeat the last clue?
Yeah, so I'm saying look at the concentrate on the words adult intellect on the fact that this is something people could pick up for while traveling, and also concentrate on the fact that the same company or brand or whatever came up with an educational series. Of these, you have definitely, all of you have heard of X, and possibly of one of Y or Z at least. And all of them, X, Y, Z and the educational series, start with the same letter and are named with the same pattern. Okay, that's lots of clues and lots of time. So Atharva?
X is a kids product. This X is a kids product.
I'm not saying that. None of it is technically a kid's product.
Okay.
But I'm not giving any more clues.
Okay. So I would say the educational series was Childcraft. The Childcraft books that most of the people.
Okay.
Why I would say are crosswords. So like I don't know the brand, so like that would suit the adult intellect.
Okay.
I have no clue for X or Z.
Or Z. All right. We'll pass you on that to Jay.
Yeah. So X, I would say, is newspapers.
Okay.
And Y, I would say, is crosswords.
Okay.
And Z, on the other hand, for growing intellectual mind, is I would say. So these are basically quiz competitions, sort of.
Quiz competitions. All right. No, not on the right track. Parantap?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Z.
Yeah.
And the show being Born Vita Quiz Contest.
Born Vita Quiz Contest. Okay. Passing you on that, Jay. On to Parantap.
If I have to guess, so it is a chicken soup series.
Chicken soup series. Okay.
Chicken soup or the hungry soul chicken soup. Or
I'll good guess, but in the interest of time, I'll pass you on. Prajot?
So X, I'll guess X is the newspaper. Y is X is newspaper. Y is crossword, and Z I'll go with Rubik's Cube.
Rubik's Cube. All right. Nobody's on the right track so far. Passing you on to Shubham Jha.
Y is crossword and the educational series, and X might be Sudoku. And no idea about this series.
Okay. We'll go to Sri Lakshmi.
Yeah, hi. Do these all start with the same letter?
Yes,
X, Y, and
that's
Z?
what I said. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna say X is iPad.
Okay.
Y is iPhone.
Okay.
And the series is iLearn.
Okay. Nice try. No, not iPad, iPhone, and so on. Stephen?
I'm gonna say X is Forbes magazine.
Okay.
That's
at least in the direction of a type of guess we were looking for. Okay, Forbes magazine.
I'm just going with that. I don't know the rest.
You don't know the rest. Okay.
Yeah.
Zaman?
Since Penguin, Puffin, and the record holder, I'll go with Peregrine Falcon.
Okay.
Which is the fastest bird.
What did you say for X and Z?
For X, Penguin books, Puffin books, and some other subsidiary. No idea.
I'll give it to you. I heard all the answers from you. Well done, Zaman. This is Penguin books, Pelican books, and Puffin books. And the Penguin also came up with something called Peregrine books, right? After the Peregrine Falcon. Nicely done, which is the record holder for being the fastest bird in the industry. So in the bird animal world. So well done, Zaman. Nicely answered. Your audio is very bad though. It's crackling through, but I could hear what you were saying roughly. So great answer. 10 points to you. Question comes back now to Adarsh. Adarsh, Somi Kohli, the owner of blank, 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 has a 22-year-old association with X. It was after a dealer tipped him off about a young talent that Kohli decided to help X. In 2004, X had come to visit the factory and had stayed at Kohli's house. Kohli's wife hadn't recognized X back then. Some months later, he called Kohli in the middle of the night and told Mrs. Kohli, Auntie, main X. To which she replied, Beta, now the whole world knows who X is or who you are. Which company is this? Now, you may have heard, while there are 3 blanks there, you may have heard of the company or the brand name as a 3-letter abbreviated name. That will do. And who is the very famous person, Indian X? X is a very, very, very famous name. So in 2004, X was not so well known. And then but this guy called Somi Kohli, who owned this particular brand or company, decided to help out X. And then, of course, X kind of started, becoming famous later in 2004 and subsequently, of course, even more famous. So who is X and what is this brand? The brand is a 3-letter brand, but the blanks are the actual expansion of the 3 letters.
Is the blank size indicative?
Yeah, throughout the quiz, blank links are indicative. But like I said, here it is the expanded version. So,
direct is it? Sorry.
It's Adarsh Direct.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Adarsh, go for it.
I'll say X is Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
All right. And the brand or the company?
SG. No.
SG. Okay. Atharva?
I would continue on the same track. X is Mahendra Singh Dhoni and the company is TVS.
TVS. Okay, nice guess. Jay?
Yeah, I'll guess X is Mahendra Singh Dhoni and the company is Beat All Sports, BS.
Perfect answer. Well done, Jay. Absolutely right. This is Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Beat All Sports or BAS, who were Mahendra Singh Dhoni's exclusive bat makers for a very long time. Nicely answered. So 5 points to Adarsh, who said Mahendra Singh Dhoni first, and the full 10 points to Jay, who said Mahendra Singh Dhoni and BAS or Beat All Sports. Somi Kohli, well done. 10 points. Parantap, your question. In 1963, Professor Robert Baker, a professor of poultry science, wrote about this culinary idea. However, it did not get much attention. Years later, another company independently arrived at the recipe and started selling the product in 1980. Thanks to claims that red meat caused cancer, this snack became a bestseller, loved and often reviled at the same time. We don't need any proper nouns here. Just give me a 2-word answer for what snack are we talking about. Lots of clues in the question for you to work it out. Questions direct with Parantap. Two-word answer. What snack are we talking about? Because of claims that red meat caused cancer, this snack became a bestseller. And you have an important clue in the first line where it says he was a professor of poultry science.
Chicken wings.
Chicken wings. Passing you on that to Prajot.
I'll say that this is chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets. And which would the company or the other company or brand be?
I think here only the snack is asked, so I'll say chicken wings and McDonald's. So I'll just say McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's. And what was your answer for
chicken
the
nuggets?
Chicken nuggets. Yeah, that's the right answer. Chicken nuggets and McNuggets or McDonald's. So beef consumption had peaked in the US in the mid-70s, and then this whole scare of red meat causing cancer made McDonald's come up with chicken nuggets, even though it had independently been done by Professor Barker earlier. And chicken consumption apparently has doubled since then. Well done, Prajot. 10 points. Sorry, Parantap, that was close, but it was chicken nuggets, not chicken wings. Okay. Shubham, it's your question. Shubham, this is an interesting question. Big tech has stepped up their efforts for racial justice amidst the Black Lives Matter protests that have gripped the US for the past few months. The terms X and Y, used to describe the relationship between two computer hard drives or between two camera flashes, has come under scrutiny. Similarly, terms A and B for allowing and denying access to a service are being revisited because of their potential racial overtones. So give me the two pairs XY and AB. In both the pairs, if you get one, you will kind of definitely get the other. So the first pair X and Y are terms that are used when there are two hard drives or two camera flashes or whatever to indicate how they are kind of connected or how data flows between them and so on. And in the second one, it's a way of allowing people access to a service or disallowing them from that service. And it has racial overtones, which means it has some kind of color connotations in the answer. Question is with Shubham. Shubham, you have a guess?
I don't know, maybe X and Y are RAM and ROM.
RAM and ROM, okay. Do you have a guess on AB?
No, sir.
No? Okay. We'll pass you to Sri Lakshmi. Yes, Sri Lakshmi, please make a guess.
No, I'm passing this.
You're passing this. Okay, Stephen?
A and B are whitelist and blacklist.
Okay. And X and Y?
I don't know what X and Y are. I'll say RAM and ROM again.
RAM and ROM. Okay, RAM and ROM, whitelist and blacklist. Zaman?
For A and B, I'll go with whitelist and blacklist.
Okay.
And for X and Y, I'll say
sorry, we can't hear you at all.
Black screen and white screen. Black screen and white screen.
Black screen and white screen. Okay, nice guess. Adarsh?
A and B are whitelist, blacklist. X and Y are master and slave.
Perfect answer, Adarsh. Take your 10 points. A and B are whitelist and blacklist, but X and Y are master and slave. You'll often come across the term master and slave when you're dealing with hard disks and so on. Full 10 points to Adarsh. And who said whitelist, blacklist first? That was Stephen, I think.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So Stephen gets 5 points and Adarsh gets the full 10 points. Well done. Question to Atharva. Atharva, founded by Amadeo Giannini, this bank was established to serve immigrants from a particular country and their extended communities. Before the major crash in 1929, it merged with Ora e Monet's bank. For a decade after the crash, economic activity in smaller cities where Giannini had a branch grew 25%, while it shrank by 3% in the cities that they did not have a branch. Which bank did he found? How do we better know it today? And there is only a one-word difference between the two answers. So for the first part, just look at his name and make a good guess.
Venki, I have a doubt.
I'm sorry?
I have a doubt.
Yes.
How specific do you need the names to be?
It is specific. These are the names of banks, right? So you need to be specific. If you think it is State Bank of India, say State Bank of India, and whatever, how do we better know it today?
Yeah? Thank you.
And like I said, there's only a one-word difference between the first answer and the second answer, and you can easily work out the first answer by seeing his name. And the fact that, therefore, he wanted to serve immigrants from a particular country who were in this country. So Atharva, go for it. And you know in which country this major crash happened, so that should help you as well.
Hello.
Atharva, can you make a guess?
Yeah. So I would say the bank that we found was Merrill Lynch, and and now it's known as Bank of America, Merrill Lynch.
Merrill Lynch and Bank of America. All right, nice guess. Jay?
So he founded Bank of Italy, or Banco d'Italia, or it was known regionally, and eventually it became, like, now it is known as Bank of America. So
that's the right answer, Jay. That's absolutely correct. He founded the Bank of Italy. You could see that his name was very Italian, and there's obviously a very big Italian immigrant community in the US. And now, after various mergers and consolidation and so on, it's today the Bank of America. So that's 10 points to Jay and 5 points to Atharva for saying Bank of America. Right? So is Bank of America was right for the second part and Bank of Italy for the first part. Well done. 10 points to Jay, 5 points to Atharva. Question to Parantap again. Okay, Parantap. Muddy Bites was established when the founders realized that one of the best parts of a dessert was not available in bite size. This part was originally added by manufacturers for a practical reason, avoiding leakage and keeping your hands from getting sticky. So what exactly are Muddy Bites? Just need a description.
So are these the chocolate at the end of the cones in Cornetto and all?
Perfect. Take your 10 points. Neatly done. This is the chocolate filled bottom at the of a waffle cone ice cream, like a Cornetto or whatever, like he said. So that's kind of put out there to make sure that your hands don't get sticky and so on. And they then realized that this is not separately available, right? It's only as part of a waffle cone. So they started actually manufacturing and marketing this separately under a brand called Muddy Bites. Easy one, nicely done. 10 points to Parantap. Question to Prajot. Prajot, what short word fills in the title of this 2019 book? The title should remind you of something else, which will help you get to who the author is. So it says, simple strategies to outsmart today's rip-off artists. And the blurb says, if you value your financial security, listen to this man. And the blurb is by a former police commissioner of NYPD and LAPD. So what's the blank? It's a short word, right? And who is the author? Because the title should remind you of something. With that, you should be able to figure out who the author is.
So, should I start my guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
So my guess will be Fish Me, Phish, Fish Me If You Can.
Okay.
And the author will be Frank Abagnale Jr.
Frank Abagnale Jr. and Fish Me If You Can. Nice guess. Shubham?
I would say Catch Me If You Can, and the author would be, I don't know.
Okay. Catch Me If You Can and you don't know the author. Sri Lakshmi?
Yeah, so for the title, I'm going to say Cash, C-A-S-H, Cash Me If You Can.
Cash Me If You Can, okay.
And I'm going to pass on the author.
Passing on the author. Okay, Stephen?
Yeah, I'll also go with Cash Me If You Can. And I'll go with Bernie Madoff.
Bernie Madoff. All right. Zaman?
Yeah, I'll go with Cash Me If You Can and Frank Abagnale Jr.
Frank Abagnale Jr. Adarsh, take it away.
I'll say Crash Me If You Can.
Okay.
And Richard Taylor.
Richard Taylor. All right. Atharva?
So I'll say Scam Me If You Can and Frank Abagnale Jr.
That gets you 10 points. It's Scam Me If You Can and Frank Abagnale or Frank Abagnale Jr. This is the right answer. Of course, Frank Abagnale Jr., the name should be familiar because of Catch Me If You Can, which is the track that Prajot got onto quickly. So 10 points to Atharva on this and 5 points to Prajot for saying Frank Abagnale. Yeah, Frank William Abagnale or Frank Abagnale Jr. So nicely done. So 10 to Atharva, 5 to Prajot. Last question of this set goes to Ajay. To Jay. Sorry, Jay. Atharva got it. Jay, in 2017, the cosmetics brand CoverGirl debuted a new ambassador. At 69, she was their oldest model yet. It was Blank, a dietitian and nutritionist who had been modeling for 5 decades. She's appeared on the covers of New York and Elle Canada. She's been photographed for Vogue and Vanity Fair. Most articles about her don't fail to mention her 3 children. One's a filmmaker, the other's a chef and entrepreneur. Who is the 3rd child who often overshadows his mother? Okay, there is a picture, so we'll show you that. There you go. That's the picture of the lady. We don't need you to give us
Can I go?
her exact name. Just tell us who is her third and most famous child.
Yeah. Can I go?
That's Jay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay, go for it.
Yeah. So she's Maya Musk, M-A-Y-E, and of course Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Absolutely right. Easy one. Maya Musk, who's the mother of Elon Musk. That's correct. 10 points to Jay. All right. So now we'll take a look at the scores at the end of round 1. Hatem will give us the scores. And the scores are important because round 2 will go as per the ascending order of scores in round 1.
Okay, here are the scores. Adarsh is on 25.
All right.
Atharva on 15.
15.
J 30 and leading.
30, 30. Well done.
Parantab 10.
10.
Prajot is on 15.
15.
Shubham and Sri Lakshmi are yet to open their accounts.
All right.
Steven is at 5.
5.
And Zaman on 10.
Zaman on 10. Good. So barring a couple of people who are yet to open their account, everybody's gotten off to a start. So let's move straight on to round 2. Round 2 is our Atmanirbhar round, which is questions on Indian biz. All right. So so here, this is how it works. One direct to each person. You will first pick a topic from a grid. You will get first shot at answering it. If you don't answer it, then, you can choose how many points you want, right? Before seeing the question. So there's a chance for you to make up points. You can choose whether you want to play safely for 5 points, for 10 points or 15 points. Now, if you don't answer the question, then we will open it. Actually, we'll just, then we'll open it out on Pounce. You can pounce on Zoom chat, direct pounce to my colleague Venkat, right? You'll see Venkatraman Nexus. When you pounce on Zoom chat, please make sure you don't pounce to everybody, pounce to him. And in your pounce, please put your name first, right? So Prajot, if you're bouncing, say Prajot and then give your answer. Now, the warning is that all questions have 2 parts, right? If you are pouncing and get 1 part right and 1 part wrong, you will still get a -5. The plus points will depend on whatever the person has chosen. So if the person has chosen +5, the total value of the question will only be 5 points. Okay. If the person has chosen +15, it will be 15. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's go in ascending order of scores and in alphabetical order. Sri Lakshmi, please pick a topic. Okay, Sri Lakshmi, what do you want?
Yeah. So I'm going to go with kidding.
Kidding. Okay. So you're going to go with kidding. Here's your question on kidding. In 1851, William, a pharmacist who was doing an internship in Lincolnshire, came up with this formulation, taking his inspiration from the way malaria and marsh fever were treated. Since the FDA banned it as an unapproved drug, it is now marketed as a supplement. It is a global brand. It was introduced in India by the healthcare subsidiary of a famous South Indian business group. Short name, abbreviated initials, short name. And it is a favorite in traditional Indian households. And your topic is kidding. Therefore, you should kind of make the association that this brand is specifically for kids, especially very young ones.
So the blank size is indicative and it's
The
initial.
pounce is open only if...
Yes. I will tell you when the pounce is open. Please stay on mute till then.
Yeah, is the blank size indicative?
Yes, the blank size is indicative. Like I said, it is a very short blank and it has 3 letters in it. It is a South Indian business group.
Okay, so the business group, I'm going to go with ITC.
ITC, okay. And the brand?
And the brand, Cerelac.
Cerelac, okay. Cerelac and ITC. That's not quite correct. So we will now open pounce. You have 15 seconds. Remember, if you have to give both answers if you're pouncing. Oh, and Sri Lakshmi, you did not choose anything, so I will assume a default of 10 points on this question. So we will do this for +10 -5. Pounce is going to close in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Venkat, did anybody pounce to you?
I got a bounce from Steven.
Okay, you got a bounce from Steven. Nobody else bounced. Okay, Steven, tell us what you think your guess is.
So I guessed Calcium Sandoz and ITC.
Calcium Sandoz and ITC. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. So -5 to Steven. This is a brand called, the person's name was William Woodward. This is a brand called Woodward's Gripe Water. Yeah, that you would have heard being given to very young kids and toddlers and infants. And it is marketed in India by the TTK Group. Yeah, TTK Group, TT Krishnamachari, TTK Group has a healthcare division, and they are the ones who brought Woodward's Gripe Water to India. Little bit of a toughie, tough luck. So no points to Sri Lakshmi on that, and -5 to Steven. We go back to the grid, and we're going to ask Shubham to give a value and pick a topic.
Sir, 10 points for well-oiled.
10 points for well-oiled. All right, here we go. The pseudonym of this famous photographer contained a brand which became synonymous with hydrogenated vegetable oil when it was introduced in India in the 1930s. What is that one-word brand name which was kind of the pseudonym of this famous photographer? You don't have to name her. And which company introduced it in India? It's a very prominent FMCG company.
Oh, can you say it's a prominent? What did you?
It's a very prominent FMCG company, consumer goods company.
Prominent? I didn't hear you again.
FMCG company, FMCG, fast-moving consumer goods. It's a consumer goods company.
Is it an Indian company?
Indian company, or at least the Indian arm of a global company.
Just a second. Jay, can we see both your hands at all times? Okay.
Shubham, your chance. Give me a one-word answer for hydrogenated vegetable oil. It's a brand that you've definitely heard of because it is a brand almost like Xerox. It is synonymous with that category, right?
So, sir, I would be going with Saffola and Unilever.
Saffola and Unilever. All right. We will now open it out on the pounce. We have 15 seconds to pounce.
We just have to message it to the to Venkatraman.
Venkat, yes, to Venkatraman. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Please do not put it on public chat. Please don't message it to me. I am not checking. Parantap, please send your guess to Venkatraman, not to me. I am not checking chats. I can see a lot of people sending it to me. Please send it to Venkatraman, not Venkatesh. Yeah. Venkataraman Nexus. Please send it to him. Okay. We are closing pounds in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So let's first give 5 points to Shubham for saying for the second part where you said Unilever or Hindustan Unilever. Technically, it was the Hindustan Vanaspati company, but that got acquired by Hindustan Unilever. The first part, I think many of you got it right. Parantap, what's the answer? You pounced, right?
Yeah, Dalda.
Dalda, that's correct. Dalda. And does anybody know who's this photographer?
Homai Vyarawala.
Homai Vyarawala, that's correct. Homai Vyarawala, she was called Dalda. The choice of this name was that her birth year was 1913. She met her husband at the age of 13 and her car's first number plate read DLD13. So Dalda and Hindustan Vanaspati Company or Hindustan Unilever. 5 points to Shubham. He's off the mark. And on the pounce, Venkat?
Adarsh pounced and gets 10. Jay pounced, gets 10.
All right.
Parantap gets 10.
Okay.
Atharva gets 10.
All right.
Zaman gets 10. And Prajot has put Vanaspati and HUL.
We'll not give next, but I'm not giving points for Vanaspati. Vanaspati is the category, but the brand is Dalda.
No problem. Yes.
So no next, but please be precise with your answers, okay?
Can you repeat the people who got plus 10s, Venkat?
Adarsh, Jay, Parantap, Atharva, Zaman.
Zaman. So 5 people got plus 10 and Shubham got plus 5. All right. Now back to the grid, and next we will ask Steven to pick.
I'll go with High Flyer.
For how many points?
15.
15 points on high flyer. All right. Developed, under the developed category are Delhi, Hyderabad, and a city called Mactan Cebu in Philippines. Under the underdevelopment category are Goa, Vizag, and Crete in Greece. So which business group is involved with all of this? It's a very famous Indian business group. And what are we talking about? What have they developed or developing in these places?
Guessing these are airports, and the group is. So you want to know
which business group? So pick one of your two trade-offs and give me a guess.
Okay. GMR
is the right answer. Well done. This is indeed the airports handled by GMR. Yeah, absolutely correct. So they are developing the airports including in Crete. Nicely picked, Stephen, and you get 15 points since you picked 15 points for this question. That brings you right back into contention. Well done. All right. So
Pinky, 1 minute. Last one was for 10, right?
The previous one was for 10. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
We will next ask. So we have Parantap and Zaman tied at 10 points at the end of the first round. So Parantap, please pick.
I'll go for driven.
Driven. And how many points?
I'll go for full 15.
15. Okay. Driven for 15. Hispano Carrocera, a Spanish bus maker in 2004. Daewoo Commercial Vehicles, a Korean company in 2005. Blank, comma, blank, from blank in 2008. Complete this list of acquisitions by an Indian company. Also tell us which company was the seller in the last case. So I don't want just the first two blanks in the last case. It's a very, very famous acquisition. But tell us which company was the seller. Because that company owned these brands at that time.
Venki, can you repeat the last point, please? Sorry.
I said there, as you can see, there were two brands acquired, right? That's why it says blank, comma, blank, from blank, right? So I need the last blank, which is which company was owning those brands when it was acquired by the Indian company. And you picked a topic called driven. Just remember that and make your guess accordingly.
Wait, so you want the buyer and the seller?
Yeah, the buyer and the seller, as in the buyer. Yeah, sure. I need the buyer and the seller and those. So I need all three blanks and the buyer. Okay, let's keep it simple. So all three blanks and the buyer. Parantap.
Buyer will be, I guess, Tata, and the blanks
Tata, be specific.
Tata Motors.
Tata Motors.
And the blanks would be Marco Polo, and not sure about second, but from would be Volvo.
Marco Polo and something else from Volvo and Tata Motors. All right. I'm opening it out on the pounds. So please remember, when you're pouncing, please give 4 things in all. The 3 blanks, which are brand 1, brand 2, owned by brand 3, and which Indian company acquired.
In that order, right?
Yeah,
blank
in whatever
blank
order.
2, blank 3, and
the Indian company. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Order should not be too much of a problem here, I think. Closing the pounds in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No more pounces will be taken. Venkat, do we have pounces?
Yes, we do have pounces.
From?
Prajot, Stephen, Jay, Shubham, Atharva.
Okay, lots of people are pounced. Atharva, why don't you tell us what your guess was?
So the blanks are Jaguar and Land Rover from Ford Motor Company and acquired by Tata Motors.
10 points. That's absolutely 15 points. That's absolutely correct. So all of them who got all of the 4 answers correct get 15 points. I'm going to give 3 points to Whose direct was this? Who answered?
Parantap.
Yeah, Parantap gets 3 points for saying Tata Motors. And please tell the points for the others, Venkat.
Atharva gets 15.
Okay.
Prajot gets 15. Shubham gets 15. Steven gets 15. And Jay gets 15.
Okay, very good. So please remember that when you put high stakes, if you don't answer it, you're also ending up giving up high points to the others, right? So just keep that in mind. Sometimes you may want to just play super conservative and play only 5 points so that even the others, for them, it will be a bigger risk to go +5, -5. That's just a bit of strategy. Right. So Parantap picked. So Zaman, it's your turn to pick.
Item number for 15.
Item number for 15 again. Okay, here you go. Simple and straight. Which old ad, which brand, who is the model? I'll read out what it says. It says dancing through blank's heart. Happy and relaxed after an exciting dance number for a current film. Dash was asked who was it who captivated her heart. She laughed and said, "Oh dear me, just my pets. I love my poodle, blah, 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 blah. I love traveling, especially abroad, all that." And asked what kept her so youthful and lovely. She thought for a moment. Then, why I think it is blank, which is the brand. So, and it says the pure mildness of blank helps my complexion stay lovely. So, who's this? Whom you see there? A very famous yesteryear's model and actress. Which brand are we talking about? Very famous brand.
For the brand, I'll say Lux.
Okay.
And for the model, I'll say the former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Jayalalitha.
Jayalalitha. Okay, that's
Jayalalitha.
Yeah, got it. Not correct. Opening it out on pounds for +15, -5, but you need to get both parts correct. Pounds is going to close in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pounds is closed. Zaman gets 5 points for saying Lux. Venkat, did anybody bounce?
Yes, we have bounces.
Okay.
From Shubham, Parantap, Adarsh, and Jay.
From Shubham, Parantap, Adarsh, and Jay. So one of you. Shubham, tell us what's the answer. What have you guessed?
Sir, Lux and Sharmila Tagore.
That is not correct, I'm afraid. That's going to get you a -5. Jay, what did you guess?
Yeah, I guess Lux and Helen.
That is the right answer, Jay. That will get you 15 points. It's Lux and Helen. That is correct.
One clarification. Is it 5 points or 7.5?
Oh, sorry, 7.5. You're right. Sorry. That's correct. So Zaman gets 7.5.
And Shubham gets -5.
Okay, Shubham -5.
Parantap gets +15.
Parantap +15.
Adarsh gets 15.
Adarsh +15.
And Jay +15.
Jay +15. All right. Great. Good.
Did you get that, Hatin?
I got it.
Okay. And people, I hope you're keeping your own score as well. Okay. All right. So who's next? We will next go to Prajot. Atharva and Prajot. So we'll do it in reverse order this time. So Prajot.
I'll go with listed.
Listed for 5, 10, or 15?
10 points.
10 points. Okay. Listed 10 points. Alphabetically ordered in an important financial list. If this is the first in that list, which Aditya Birla Group company is the last? Okay. If you arrange this list in alphabetical order, this will come first. Which Aditya Birla Group company will come last? And what is the list? It's a very important financial kind of list in India. Prajot, please make a guess.
So I'll go with publicly listed companies.
Be specific. What do you mean publicly listed?
Listed on the stock market.
Which stock market? What is the list called?
You need a specific stock market.
Yeah, I need a specific stock market or a specific name for this list.
So first of all, I'll guess with Aditya. The company is Asian Paints.
No, I am asking you. I'm not asking you to identify the logo on the screen. I'm asking you if this is the first. Okay, that's obvious that it's Asian Paints, so I might as well, we can tell everyone that if Asian Paints is the first, which Aditya Birla Group company is the last? So alphabetically,
the list will be National Stock Exchange.
National Stock Exchange, all right. And which is the last?
Last company will be
alphabetically the last.
Alphabetically, the last would be no, I don't. I'll pass on that.
Okay. I'm going to quickly open it out on pounds. If you want to pounds now. 2 answers. Which Aditya Birla Group company will be the last, and be specific on what is this list. Going to close pounds in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pounds is closed. Venkat, did anybody pounds?
We got a pounds from Shubham.
From Shubham. Shubham, what was your guess?
Sir, I'm guessing this is Bombay Stock Exchange and Zodiac.
Bombay Stock Exchange and Zodiac. I'm afraid that's incorrect. Bombay Stock Exchange is the right angle. It's specifically the Sensex.
This Ultratech.
Ultratech. Yeah, Ultratech is correct. This is the BSE Sensex, which is the 30 most important stocks in India. Sensitive index that you would all be tracking all the time. And Ultratech Cement. Yeah, so Asian Paints is 1 and Ultratech Cement would be the last if you're next alphabetically. So that would be -5 to Shubham and no points to Prajot who picked that. And the next option is to Atharva. Atharva, quickly make your pick. We are running behind schedule.
You're on mute, Atharva.
Printed for 10 points.
Printed for 10 points. Which publishing house connects or prints these 3 magazines? Grihashobha, Champak, and Motoring. Which other publication of theirs? A collective noun for a group of desert animals. The title of the publication is a collective noun for a group of desert animals. Is missing. The missing one, the collective noun, etc., is an English magazine. Okay. English magazine devoted to politics and culture.
I would say this is Anand Bazar Patrika, the publishing house, and a group of desert animals would be. I don't know that.
You don't know. Okay, opening it out for a quick pounce. He played for. Did you say what score did you say, Atharva?
10.
He said 10. He said 10. Yeah, 10. Playing for 10. Open on the pounds for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Closing pounds. All right. Venkat, has anybody pounced?
Parantap and Zaman have pounced and both have the right answers.
Lovely. Okay, Zaman, tell us the answer. This is a bit of
so
a
this is the collective noun is caravan, and the first part is Delhi Press Group.
Perfect answer. Well done. Collective noun for a group of camels is a caravan of camels. This is the caravan, and this is Delhi Press. So nicely answered. Zaman and who else? Parantap, is it?
Yeah, Parantap.
Well done, well done. 10 points to both of you. And for those of you who don't read, I would highly recommend you read The Caravan. Fantastic long form journalism in its true sense in India, right? My one recommendation. Okay, let's go. We have 2 options left and we have 2 people left. That is Adarsh and Jay. So Adarsh,
We'll go with flowery.
flowery. How many points?
10.
10. Nobody is going the reverse strategy and picking 5. All right. Okay. Which company's name can you arrive at by using any of these clues? Explain any 2 of the clues. 2 clues here and 1 more here. Essentially, I'm trying to show you the opening credits of Man in the High Castle, the TV show. So which company's name can you arrive at? It's a Bombay-based company.
So any two of them, meaning these 2 images or these 2 slides?
No, there are these 2 slides. There are 3 clues among these 2 slides. Actually, you can just explain.
Can you show the next slide?
You can explain any one, that will also do. Right? So the way you have to explain is that if you think the answer is Ford, right? You can say, okay, in Man in the High Castle, there is a Ford car. That explanation will do. You can ignore the 2. You can explain any one. That will also be fine. And the easiest one to explain would be the first visual that you see there on the left. So others, go for it.
I'll say this is Edelweiss. That's a flower. That's the Sound of Music. And I don't know the...
And the song Edelweiss plays over the opening title credits of Man in the High Castle. Absolutely right. Edelweiss, the financial group based in Bombay. One of the few independent, non-big company-owned very successful financial groups in India. The Edelweiss flower, the song from the Sound of Music that all of you would have heard. And if you have seen Man in the High Castle on Amazon Prime, you will see a rendition of Edelweiss being played over the opening credits. So that's 10 points to Adarsh. That did not pass. And so you don't have a choice now, Jay. So you'll have to answer this question on Light Up. Which brand is the advertiser? Which structure do they claim that they have provided the lighting for? That structure is not in India. That structure is kind of visible in the picture. The brand is an Indian brand, or at least came to India with a collaboration of sorts. And I have deliberately, just so that everybody gets a clue, I have left behind an S in the logo over there. That's because it's a slightly tough brand name that you may or may not know. Your answer begins with the letter S for the brand. And which structure's name is blanked out? It's a structure, very famous structure, not in India.
So how many points?
Jay, sorry, I didn't allow you to pick the points. I forgot. We'll just keep it a default 10.
Hello. Yeah, I lost you. Can you repeat? Did somebody ask something in the middle?
Yeah. I should have given you the option of choosing points.
Yeah.
But we'll assume you would have chosen 10 anyway. So
I'll choose 10 for the lack of missing. Anyway.
Yeah, no problem.
Can I go?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so I'll guess this is Surya Limited. Surya being S, and the building being Empire State Building.
Okay, Surya and Empire State Building. Nice guess. Opening it out on the pounds.
Can I take a quick 1 minute break?
Yeah, quickly come back. Pounds is going to close in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pounds is closed. Did anybody pounce, Venkat?
No pounces.
No pounces. Okay. So we'll give 5 points to Jay for saying the Empire State Building. That is correct indeed. It is the Empire State Building. Surya was actually a very good guess because that is also a lighting company from that era. This is a company called Sylvania or Lakshman Sylvania, as it was known in India. Well before all of you guys' time. It was a brand that I encountered when I was growing up.
Really good question. Really good question.
Yeah. So Sylvania and Empire State Building. 5 points to Jay on that. And that's the end of the grid round. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's take a look at the scores. Quickly.
Adarsh at 60.
Okay.
Atharva at 40.
Okay. 60, 40.
Jay at 75.
Jay at 75.
Arantap 48.
48.
Prajot 30.
30.
Shubham on 10, who took 2 negs.
Shubham 10.
Sri Lakshmi 0 as of now.
Correct.
Steven at 30.
How many? What's my score?
Prajot 30. 30.
Steven 30. And Zaman on 37.5.
37.5. So pretty close contest. Remember, all you need to do is end in the top 4. Okay, let's quickly move on. We are behind schedule a little bit. Question direct to Zaman. Marty Cooper was responsible for creating the world's first portable cellular phone in 1973. The Webby Awards honored him with a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2011. His 5-word Webby acceptance speech was also a line from the TV ads for a telecom network delivered by actor Paul Marcarelli. What was the very appropriate line? It's a line that you often hear these days as well, you know, on Zoom calls and things like that. So what was the line? And which network was the original TV ad for? Please note, I am not asking for the company that Marty Cooper worked with when he came up with the portable cellular phone. That is Motorola. We're not asking for that. We're asking for a telecom network, right? So an Airtel kind of answer is what we are asking for. And what was the very appropriate line which you can work it out? It's a line that all of us also keep saying these days, you know, on Zoom calls or on other phone calls and things like that. So Zaman, make a guess. Let's do this.
Whose direct is it?
We are going anti-clockwise, reverse order, starting from Zaman.
For this second part, I'll say Vodafone.
Okay. First part.
And for the first part I'll say hello, can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me? Okay. All right. I can hear you. I'll pass you on to Steven.
I'll also go with Vodafone and hello, are you there?
Hello, are you there? Okay. Hello, are you there is only 4 words. Webby Awards have 5-word acceptance speeches. Okay, Sri Lakshmi.
Yeah, so I'm going with Vodafone and are you ready to connect?
Are you ready to connect? Nice guess. Shubham?
So Vodafone and I am trying to connect.
I am trying to connect. All right. Please keep trying. Prajot?
I'll say AT&T.
Okay.
And can you hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Sorry?
Can everyone hear me?
Can everyone hear me? Okay, that works only if you write everyone as 2 words, which would be bad English. Okay, Parantap?
So for the line, I'll guess.
One sec, Parantap. Prajot just guessed, right? Yeah. Okay. So Parantap, go ahead.
Yeah. So can I have a small clarification? So is the company? It's that blank is the company, right?
Yeah, it's a telecom network.
Okay, it's one word. One word then.
Yeah, that's what the blank says.
Yeah. So I'll guess. Can you hear me now?
Okay.
5 words.
Okay.
And blank, I would guess Verizon.
Is the perfect answer. Take your 10 points. Very well done. Can you hear me now? And Verizon is absolutely right. It had to be an American, network. All of you went for Vodafone. Vodafone is predominantly British, right? So AT&T was a good guess, but AT&T's big competitor is Verizon. So this is Verizon. Verizon famously had this ads promoting mobile phones saying, "Can you hear me now?" Yeah, so can you hear me now on Verizon? Good answer, Parantap. 10 points to you. Question goes to Jay.
Is there part points?
Part points for what?
Hello, can you hear me?
No, I needed the precise answer there. Can you hear me now? If nobody had given me a precise answer, I might have considered part points. But I did get the exact answer from him. So Jay, your question?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Good.
Until no matter where you go.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Your call goes through.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Verizon Wireless.
Can you hear me now?
Gopa saying, can you hear me now? Okay. Jay, Co-founded by X in 2005, started capturing the granular data store-wise, day-wise, location-wise, and the number of units supplied, sold, and left unsold, and created a predictive algorithm that tells them exactly how many units should be supplied to each retail point every day. In 2020, in order to address growing anxiety among people about the supply of essential items and stop them from panic buying, they launched a store finder feature on their website. Which company that gets its name from two of the products they originally started selling? Who is the person who founded this company X? I'm going to give a clue, which I'd already decided I would give. The person X is an alumnus of IIM Bangalore. And since that's my alma mater as well, I'm giving that extra clue. It's famously an alumnus of IIM Bangalore. And this is a company that has been doing extremely well ever since they hit the market. And, you know, they make something which is like a huge favorite for everyone.
Who's direct?
Jay is direct.
Can you repeat the last point? It has been doing extremely well.
It has been doing extremely well, and the brand has become very, very popular, especially among South Indians, but pretty much across everywhere, right? And, you know, people almost consider this like some essential item type thing. You would pretty much think of the brand only with the first short blank that is there. The next two words in those three blanks are just more descriptive, but the core brand name is in the first very short blank that is there. It's a very widely distributed brand. You will find it in supermarkets, provision stores, you know, of course, on all the online platforms, what have you. Okay, time to start answering. Jay?
Yeah, I'll say this is Fog and Vishal Mehta. I don't know. I'll pass.
Fog and Vishal Mehta. Atharva?
I would say no. I have no clue.
No clue. Adarsh?
I'll say ID Foods for the first part.
And?
I'll go with N.R. Narayanamurthy.
N.R. Narayanamurthy, okay. Who neither founded ID Foods nor unfortunately is an IIM Bangalore alumnus. Zaman?
Okay, I'll say Mustafa and ID.
Yeah, PC Mustafa and ID Foods is the right answer. ID Fresh Food, Idli Dosa batter. So it's called ID because of Idli and Dosa purportedly. And PC Mustafa, yeah, dynamic entrepreneur. PC Mustafa, ID Fresh Foods, PC Mustafa. So 5 points to Adarsh and 10 points to Zaman. Question to Stephen. Stephen, simple one. One of the items in the XY Museum of American Innovation is the Lincoln Continental SS100X shown here. The model built by Y has nothing particularly innovative about it. What is its significance? And what is XY? XY is the name of a person, okay? So this is the Lincoln model. So tell me, Stephen, who is XY? Who or what is XY? And what is the significance of this Lincoln Continental SS100X? It's nothing very, it's not some breakthrough car. There's nothing innovative about it or any such thing. But it's there for a good reason in that museum. Show you the picture again if it helps.
I'm guessing XY is Henry Ford.
Okay.
Its significance, I'm going to say it's the first four-door sedan.
It's the first four-door sedan. Okay. Passing you to Sri Lakshmi.
I'm going with Henry Ford, and it was the car used by Lincoln.
It is the car used by whom?
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln. Okay. Much too early. Shubham?
Sir, Henry Ford and John F. Kennedy were shot in this car.
Perfect answer. That take your 10 points. Henry Ford, and this is the car in which John F. Kennedy was traveling when he was assassinated or shot. 10 points to Shubham. Srilakshmi, you came close. I think you were thinking right, but you went for the wrong president. It was not Lincoln. It was JFK, right? And it's the Henry Ford Museum. So that's 5 points to Stephen and 10 points to Shubham. All right, Prajot, your question. Legend has it that the X was invented in the 17th century Yorkshire by Cook working for Charles I's minister Thomas Wentworth, 1st Earl of Strafford. Y, which is similar to X, was created in London in 1874 by the Pickfriends Bakery to mark the wedding of Russia's Grand Duchess to the Duke of Edinburgh. Name X and Y. Y is of course very popular, very well known. X is a two-word answer. Less known, but very similar to Y, or rather Y is very similar to X. So X is a two-word answer, Y is a one-word answer.
Who's direct?
It's Prajot's direct. Prajot, make a guess.
Okay, I'll go. I have no idea on X, but I'll just guess Crackjack. And Y, I'll guess it's Mary Biscuit.
Mary Biscuit and Crackjack. Okay.
Mary Biscuit.
Mary
Y.
Biscuit. Got it. Got it. Mary Biscuit for Y and Crackjack for X.
No, Y is Mary Biscuit.
Understood. That's what I'm also saying. Mary Biscuit for Y and Crackjack for X is what you said, right? Moving on to Parantap.
Not sure about Y. I guess bourbon for X.
Bourbon for X. Not correct. Jay?
Yeah, I'll say Oreo and bourbon.
Oreo and bourbon. Atharva? Unmute.
Y is Mari.
Sorry, I just wanted to clarify. X is bourbon and Y is Oreo.
Understood. No problem.
Y is Mari.
Okay.
Since the Duchess was called Maria. And X, I would say digestive biscuits.
Digestive biscuit. Good guess. Adarsh?
I'll say Mary for Y, and X I'll say Vita Mari.
Vita Mari. Nice guess again. Zaman?
For Y is Mari Biscuit and X, I'll just say Graham Crackers.
Graham Crackers. Okay. Good guess again. Not Graham Crackers. Stephen?
Y is Mari and I'm going to guess X is Hobnob.
Hobnob. Okay. Srilakshmi?
Is X the Yorkshire pudding?
Yorkshire pudding. And why?
I'm gonna pass on the Y.
Pass on Y. Shubham?
Sir, X is bourbon and Y is Mari.
Okay. So we will give 5 points to Prajot for saying Mari, which is correct, of course, for Y. X is a little bit of a toughie. X is something called rich tea. Yeah, rich tea biscuit. So you can see there, the rich tea biscuit, absolutely identical to the Mari biscuit, which is made by the Pickfriends Bakery much later. So nice answer, Prajot, on Mari. That gets you 5 points. Parantap, question coming to you. These are two bodies of a similar kind. One is abbreviated as ACP, the other as SCA. The ACP oversees one thing that opened in 1914 and it had $3.36 billion in revenue in 2019. The SCA is responsible for something similar that began functioning in 1869 and reported revenue of 5.8 billion in 2019, right? So look at the logos and tell us what are ACP and SCA. As in, we need the operative parts that will do. I'll just make it easy for you. In both cases, the A is something like authority, okay? Something equivalent to authority. So that's the ACP on the left and that's the SCA on the right. If you get one, you should definitely get the other. Concentrate on the right. That should really help you. I'll show you the image again. Concentrate on the SCA logo. That should really help you to work out an answer, and through which you can then work out what is the ACP, what does ACP stand for as well. Okay, Parantap, go for it.
I'm guessing this is related to cruises.
Okay.
And ACP is the Princess Cruise and SCA is the Caribbean.
Nice guess. Nice guess. Princess Cruises and Caribbean Cruises. Very nice guess. Jay?
Yeah, I'll say I figured the SCA part is Suez Canal.
Okay.
So Suez Canal, A you said is authority. In that sense, ACP would be authority of Canal of Panama or Panama Canal.
Take your 10 points. Absolutely right. Autoridad del Canal de Panama or the Panama Canal Authority and the Suez Canal Authority. One started in 1869, one in 1914. Both very, very important trade throughways and earn billions of dollars of revenue through all the ships that pass through it because they are important connectivity points, as you all well know, across the two hemispheres. Great answer, Jay. 10 points to you. Well done. Question to Atharva. Okay, Atharva. A subtle change was made to the ratio which requires data supplied by Nielsen. The strict 1500:1 was changed to 1250:1 for paid users and 3750:1 for free users. In theory, this affects those who perform well in free platforms. The concept itself has been criticized. For example, Chris Brown's Heartbreak on a Full Moon has over 40 pieces and therefore registers more numbers. So what is all this ratio calculation typically used for? And this kind of calculation has become relevant or important only in the last 10 years or so.
I need a clarification. So 1500:1 was changed to 1250:1 and 1370:1.
3750:1. Yeah.
3750:1. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this IMDb ratings?
Not IMDb ratings. Good guess though. Not IMDb ratings. Adarsh?
Yeah, I'll say this is the number of times a song is streamed on Spotify or other such platforms and converted to payment. Like how much royalties it will get. Maybe dollars or something.
How much royalties it will get. Okay. We'll hold on that and pass to Zaman.
Yeah, I'll go with YouTube views or something.
YouTube views. Good guess. Not YouTube views. Steven?
I'm not sure. Pass.
Passing. Sri Lakshmi?
Yeah, I'm gonna pass too.
Passing. Shubham?
Sir, I will say this is iTunes, means the number of times is listen the song on iTunes.
iTunes. Nothing specific about iTunes. Prajot?
So I'll say that this is the monetization of the song. That is how much, how many per stream. Like if you have 1500 streams, you'll get paid a certain X amount.
Okay.
So and it's hence it's 3750 for free users because you want to monetize the platform.
Understood. That's
And,
pretty much what
ratio
others
is-
said. Yeah.
And the ratio is used for Spotify.
Okay.
Spotify are the music platforms.
All right. Got it. Parantap?
Yeah, I had the pretty much same guess.
Okay. So we'll pass you on to Jay.
Okay, I'll guess. So this is Spotify, and a lot of rage happened when Taylor Swift said that you are not paying us for free user, for songs heard by free users.
Yeah.
So the entire I guess it was with iTunes, but Spotify also implemented it in 2018, and the ratio calculates that the album if has more number of songs, so it is not calculated based on album, but it is calculated based on songs. So 40 pieces ideally would be it has 40 songs in the album. So there are higher chances of people not hearing the entire.
I'll give that to you. I'll give that to you. That was the specific one I was looking for. It's stream to album conversion, because when you sell, offline or whatever, people cannot buy an individual song. Obviously, they have to buy the entire album, right? And the album equivalent unit in streaming platforms is what caused all of this ruckus. So I'm going to give 5 points to Adarsh, of course, for establishing all the concept and so on. And the full 10 points to Jay for yet another good answer there. Very nice. 3 questions to go. Atharva, back to you again. This is the real toughie of the quiz, I think. According to the OED, this 7-letter word comes from the French roots that mean among and to place. The French word is in turn derived from Latin. The secondary meaning and French meaning of the word is warehouse. What is this word? It has a circumflex, which means a small indentation on top of the 6th letter. It's a 7-letter word. I'll in fact tell you what it means. It roughly means a port or a place where something is kept temporarily or in holding before it kind of moves somewhere else. Okay. This is a bit of a toughie. Question is with Atharva.
What did you say a circumflex was?
A circumflex is like a small mark or indentation that you would put on the letter just to give a kind of emphasis or whatever.
Okay.
Do you have a guess?
No guess.
No guess. Passing. Okay. Passes to Adarsh.
I'll say Esquire.
Good guess. Not Esquire. Zaman.
I'll say parlor.
Parlor. Stephen.
I'm just going to guess chateau.
Chateau. Nice guess. Sri Lakshmi.
No, I'm passing.
Passing to Shubham.
Sir, salon?
Sorry, salon, not salon. Prajot?
So I have no guess, so I'll just guess embargo.
Embargo, nice guess. Parantap?
I'm guessing escrow, as in where money
Nice
is
guess. Nice guess. Escrow. Jay?
Yeah, I had escrow, but now I will go with octroi.
Octroi. That's a nice guess as well. Nobody gets this. Like I said, it's a bit of a toughie. This is a term called entrepot. Entrepot, yeah. It basically means a very crucial term in international trade and shipping, because entrepot is like a location where ships and cargo come and are kind of kept temporarily before they need to be rerouted elsewhere and so on, right? So it'd be the equivalent of like making a connecting flight at an airport or some such thing, right? All right, no problem. Something new to learn in every quiz. Otherwise, what's the fun? Okay, penultimate question of the quiz to Adarsh. EXO became the highest earning sportswoman in history, set off a bidding war last year, which is in 2019, between Nike and Adidas to be her apparel sponsor. So much was she in demand that Nike, who signed her, made an extremely rare but lucrative exception, which they previously even denied luminaries like Serena and Roger Federer. The exception is evident once you see her playing. Who's this famous woman, sportswoman? And you can make out with sport as well. And what is the exception that Nike provided her? They've rarely provided this exception to anybody in the past. So she was with Adidas, and then she was moving to Nike. There was a major bidding war between Nike and Adidas, which Nike finally won through by putting this clause together for her. Okay, others, go for it.
Second part I'll say is Nike usually says that everything you wear has to be of Nike. You can't advertise any other company. She had some patches which advertise other companies.
Yeah. And who's this she?
I'll say Eugene Bouchard.
Eugenie Bouchard. Nice guess. Zaman?
Yeah, I'll say Naomi Osaka.
Mm-hmm.
For the first part, and for the second part, I'll say when Nike sponsors a player, that player is supposed to wear all Nike outfit, but for her they made an exception, and some other brand's item was used. I think shoes. She used some other brand's shoes.
She used some other brand shoes. Okay.
Not specifically shoes, but some part of her.
We can't hear you, Zaman.
was sponsored by some other one
Fine,
company
I'll give it to you before you
Japanese company.
Before you confuse yourself further, I'll give it to you. You take your 10 points. Adarsh gave the perfect funda for the second part, which is the patches, right? So she has patch deals with other brands, including Nissin Foods, makers of Top Ramen, who have been a long-time supporter of hers, and ANA and others. So Nike normally does not allow any other brand to be advertised, and this is of course Naomi Osaka. I think Adarsh's trade-off went the other way, and he went for Yuzuru Bouchard, or Naomi Osaka just didn't strike. But you get the bulk of the points because we had 7 points anyway for the second part. So Adarsh gets 7 points, but Zaman kind of snatches the full 10. And with that, we come to the last question of this quiz. Stephen, the building in the picture is the HQ of the headquarters of the Blank Company in Battle Creek, Michigan. The building has a peculiar shape for a reason, according to a local urban legend, that the architect designed it so after a survey they conducted with employees. Which company, when they asked employees what kind of office do you want, what did the employees apparently say? So this is one picture. This is the other picture.
Whose direct is it? Steven.
Steven. So which company's headquarters? That should be easy because they're very famously based out of Battle Creek, Michigan. And what did these ambitious employees apparently tell the architect when he surveyed them and asked them, what kind of office do you want?
Okay, the only company that I know out of Battle Creek is Kellogg's.
Right.
And
what did
funda behind the...
say? It would seem that they were all pretty ambitious employees.
They were pretty
ambitious employees. That's just my random extra clue.
So this is like a staircase.
Okay.
So to go up higher, to perform better.
Okay.
Perform better.
Go up higher. All right. Let's ask Sri Lakshmi for the last time in this quiz what her guess is.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kellogg's. No, I'm gonna pass on the second one.
Passing. Okay. Shubham?
Sir, Kellogg's, and are these pedestals?
Pedestals, not pedestals. Prajot?
Can you just show me the first pick? This one.
Yeah. This is the first pick. This is the second one.
I mean, second.
Just another view of the same thing. That's it.
Okay, so probably the employees had something that if it's seen from above, for example, if it's seen from space, that it should resemble some peculiar shape, like K, for example.
It should resemble a K. Okay, and the company being Kellogg's. Very nice guess. But the employees were, not that creative, I think. Parantap?
Yeah, I'll go to the Kellogg's part. For the design, designed to replicate the Colosseum.
Colosseum. Okay. Nothing about the Colosseum. Okay, Jai, take it away and finish the quiz.
Can I go to the text just once? The company is, of course, Kellogg's.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so the company is, of course, Kellogg's, and the reason that they, decided this peculiar shape is they wanted to look it like a escalator, not a ladder, but an
escalator, so that they could go up in life. Okay.
Yeah.
Atharva? So Adarsh has been keenly waiting, I know. Atharva, do you have a guess?
No guess on the urban legend. No.
Okay, and so we will end where we began this quiz with Adarsh. Yes, Adarsh.
Kellogg's and everyone wanted a corner office.
Everyone wanted a corner office. That is correct, right? That's the ambitious thing. The CEO's office is called a corner office.
Beautiful question.
Everybody wanted a corner office. So he built an office where everybody would have a corner office of some sorts. Well worked out, Adarsh. Take your 10 points, and Stephen gets 5 points, of course, for knowing the only company that's headquartered out of Battle Creek, Michigan, which is Kellogg's. Well done.
Was one of the reasons also to make it suicide proof or something? Because
yeah. So there are a number of like such stories that abound, right? When any such structure is built, all retrofitted, I'm sure. So, all right. So let's take a look at the final scores.
Hello, here are the scores. Adarsh finishes with 87.
Adarsh finishes with 87.
Atharva 40.
Atharva finishes with 40.
Jay on 95.
Jay on 95.
Parantap 58.
58.
Prajot on 35.
35.
Shubham on 20.
20.
Sri Lakshmi finishes with 0.
Okay.
Stephen finishes with 40.
40.
And Zaman with 57.5.
57.5. So pretty close. So winning the college semi-final and qualifying into the grand finale of the Nexus Biz Quiz is Jay. Well done, Jay. Jay Rana finishes first. Close behind him, on his heels, is Adarsh Mohapatra, finishing with 87. Our third and fourth qualifiers are pretty much on the same score, very close. Parantap from IIM Bangalore on 58 and Zaman on 57.5. Right? And narrowly missing out are Atharva and Stephen, both on 40. And we had Prajot also close behind on 35, Shubham on 20. Sri Lakshmi not today, no problem. So Jay, Adarsh, Parantap and Zaman, we will see you tomorrow. The plan is to do the grand finale at about 11:30 in the morning, so that you can wake up late, have breakfast, come to the quiz, and we'll finish well before lunch. The length will be more or less the same, maybe a couple of questions more here and there, but you'll be up against some really fun, big competition with the open biz quizzers being there as well. So it should be a lot of fun. So hopefully tomorrow, please be on time. Hatem or Venkat will send you an email or call you and tell you exactly when we're going to start, etc. And hoping for a good, fun and fair quiz tomorrow as well. Thank you everybody for cooperating today. And that is the end of the college semi-final of the Nexus.